Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. That's Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. On tonight's episode, we have a Home Gym Con update. We'll go over that with you real quick, and then we're going to get into a new product to release. It's coming from Bells of Steel, and it is the Dreadmill. After that, we'll go over some survey results, and then we'll finish building on our initial builds by adding our first specialty bar choice. All right, Jake, Home Gym Con update. What do we got?
All right. Thank you, Adam. So with our update today, we have some news about a competition. So the arm lifting competition is no longer going to be ran by Armlifting USA. It is a Grip Sport International contest. And it's going to be led by Rob from Vintage Weights PGH. So basically, it's pretty similar event. Rob's creating the specific implements as we speak right now. Those should be released soon. We're keeping the same amount of prizes. So there still is a $2,500 cash prizes that will be awarded, that will be distributed among the group. That's still to be determined as well as to how specifically that's going to be chosen. And then we also have a few other equipment prizes in that list, and that will continue to grow as well. So I don't know if there's been too many more arm lifting competitions with more prizes to it. So hopefully we're able to get some more people involved. And then I'll also mention for this competition, there's going to be no additional cost. So all you need to do is have a ticket to Home Gym Con, and then there will be a form that hasn't been created yet that you'll sign up for this event. So no additional cost, just buy a ticket. The competition is Friday starting at 10. It'll most likely be a few hours long. So just keep that in mind as well. And you will have a chance to, show off your grip strength.
I mean, if you're going to be there Friday and you're planning on being there Friday at 10 a.m., you'd be silly not to do it. So you buy a ticket, you're entered into the competition after filling out your form, and then you're up for $2,500 and giveaways. Not sure how many grip athletes are showing up Friday at 10 a.m. I'm going to guess you're highly likely to walk away with some cool prizes or some of that cash.
Well, I'll tell you, as of right now, we have 6.
Oh,
so just keep in mind, that hopefully that will go up as we get closer to time, and considering that there's no more additional fee. But yeah,
I'm just saying, you
definitely
if you divide
a good opportunity to win something. Yes,
if you divide $2,500 by 6, that's $416.66 per. If you were to do an equal distribution. Yeah, I would start gripping some plates and warming up for this one.
And I promise you there will be more. So, we promise this amount to this this group, and if there's not many more that sign up, then there we go. That is our home gym.
To the something go the spoils. That's a saying, right?
To the riches go the spoils?
I don't think that's it. I
don't think that's it.
I don't know. Someone check us on that.
We're so educated.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I think this is me, right, Adam?
I think that's what
so the new Dreadmill from Bells of Steel. So this is, we saw GetRx come out with a few kind of manual push treadmill sled / motorized / non-motorized traditional treadmill kind of look. But this is a 3-in-1 cardio machine for farmer's walk, sled push, and then just a manual incline treadmill. So you have the ability to add plates to these kind of like side rails, pick them up, and then walk up a hill. And then also, you can lean forward and push going forward like a sled, kind of like we talked about in the last some of those GetRx treadmills. This one is 2,200. I also saw like the weight limit on this is like 286 pounds. I'm thinking this is something for like a big strong man, primarily to use. And you know, I wonder if it's strong enough.
Yeah, weight limit 286. I wonder if that includes like with the weight you're bearing on the farmer's carry.
No, I don't think so. But still, I think 286. That's a very large person.
Yeah.
But all right. Anyways, what are you feeling about this? Are you feeling this one or not?
No, and not to,
Me either.
Yeah, not to like down or anything. The Zebex one as well. Like when it first came out, I was like, oh, cool. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that's just probably not for me. This style in general.
Right.
But
I don't know how often I would use that. All right. Let's move on to those survey results.
Starting off with some quick hitters, we asked a percentage of parents. 64% of those answering are parents. That's going to be the same as last year. Another quick hitter, 52% say resting when necessary is more difficult than working out enough. Only 48% say working out enough is more difficult than resting. 46% have bought equipment already in 2024. And then our last quick hitter, 10% consider themselves to be barbell snobs. That was 12%.
All right, next up, probably not a surprise, but barbell ownership continues to be on the rise. So we asked a repeat question from the last few years. How many barbells do you own? Only 1% said 0. Only 12% said 1. 45% said 2 to 3, and then 42% own 4 or more. So as I mentioned, we've asked this since 2022. The amount owning 0 and 1 have gone down steadily, while the amount owning multiple and specifically 4 or more has like almost doubled. So, it makes sense. Most people are answering these questions year after year, and they're also buying barbells year after year. So more barbells being owned by this group of survey responders.
What do you care about more? What would you rather see? Community involvement or made in your country products? We asked you, you voted. It says that 60% would rather see community involvement. Made in your country, 40%. What's the last year, this year, Jake?
Yeah, so 52% said community involvement versus 48 made in your country last year versus, like Adam just said, 60% community involvement versus 40%. So more people care about community involvement versus made in your
Do we
country.
have this data from like 5 years ago? I bet you it's continued to trend this way with certain companies that are like, making moves and becoming popular home gym companies. It seems like it would trend this way. Don't you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. There wasn't really a community to be involved with too many years ago. So it's all kind of relatively new. Predictions on Bulletproof Fitness. So we asked, what are your predictions on this company? We asked this last year, and then we also asked this year. And really, there was like no change at all. So either a future force in the home gym industry will create a few good products. It's a fad, though they're a fad, they will fade out. And then who is Bulletproof Fitness? So about 10% said they're a future force in the home gym industry. 38% will create a few good products. That was the highest. That was the most popular answer. 16% say fad will fade out. And then the second most popular answer is who is Bulletproof Fitness? That's at about 36%. And if you're looking at the screens and looking at the screen, and you see the 2023 versus 2024, they're all within a few percentage points of each other, which is like pretty crazy. So, but basically no movement from last year. Adam,
I
what
said
did you
we'll
vote?
create a few good products. The reason that I didn't put Force, because I think they'll be around for a little while. No, not a little while. I think they'll be around creating products. Force is such like a, like a top company type of word. So I just see them still coming out with great
Yeah.
products like they have and continue. So what'd you put?
Um, I put force. But I think a lot of that depends on like who, like what people value. Like, do they want to add a rack attached Smith machine? Do they want to add a rack attached leg extension, leg curl? Do they want, continuing to add stuff like that? I think the answer to that is yes. And I think Bulletproof has the lead in that and the patents. um,
It's been some patent talk with Bulletproof, has there? I've heard some rumblings.
so
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. Yeah, I think there'll be a force, but I mean, I think like you said, I'm kind of with you. Like, I think it's tough to say are they just going to be a few good products or they are a force. But I think with a force, like if one of the products takes off, that I think that does turn you into like a force.
Okay.
But we'll see. I mean, I think they didn't make any movement from this year versus last year, and I think part of that is because it seems like he has so many ideas, but it takes a while for them to like go to like do it overseas, bring it back. I mean that process just takes a long time. So I think 5 years later they might have some pretty
Yeah,
cool stuff out. So
for
we'll
sure.
see. All right, next up. All right, so last week, Adam and I built budget home gyms with we built home gyms rack, bar, plate, and bench for under $2,500. We're going to build off of that with our first specialty bar purchase. We're buying, price in mind. We asked the community. There were way too many answers to like discuss. Too much variety, no real theme. But I will say, Adam and my answers are kind of more on the popular side. But again, we're buying. What are we going with first to add to our collection? Adam goes
Went with the
with.
Titan rackable curl bar, and I know it's not the sexy choice. Okay, I'm aware, but it is a great price, and it serves its purpose of being a rackable curl bar. I will also say that as far as adding a specialty bar, you don't need to add a curl bar, but it's such a low barrier of entry. Like you're spending like 150 bucks and you're bringing in a bar that you can do accessories with. That's why I didn't go with like a specialty squat bar or an open trap bar, because then you're in like the $300 market and it's just like you have to hesitate before you make that purchase. So I'm going with a rackable curl bar. I'm going with this one from Titan because it's cheap and it behaves pretty much the same as some options are a little bit more expensive. Now, if I had to do a slightly different option, I'm going with the fat, almost like axle rackable easy curl bar from Black Widow. That's a fun little variation to it. But the honest answer is a Titan rackable curl bar. Jake, what do you think of my choice? Not sexy, but
Number one, I'm not surprised. But I think it's a good like you said, no brainer, easier purchase. You have the basics. You want to add something quick to your home gym to start adding variety.
thanks.
I like it. And I didn't go with a
I liked
terribly
yours, by the way.
sexy one either. But I went with the Rep SSB, just thinking I have, I don't have an unlimited budget. It's like a fraction of like the Kabuki bar or the Mars bar. And, just thinking about the basic setup that we have already, I want a little variety for my leg day. And this is something that you can do: front squats, SSB, good mornings, lunges. So this is gonna, I think like if I have that basic setup with just a barbell, not making excuses, but leg day is going to be a little bit more intimidating. And like, if you have a little bit of a tweak back, which sometimes happens to me, it's nice to have a specialty bar like this. But to be honest, if I'm building out a home gym, and based off of what we had, I'm probably going rack attachments before I buy a specialty
I'd probably
bar.
get little tinker toys like a slant board and stuff like that before I go specialty bar as well. But I have to agree with you, like leg days are different when you're with like your basic setup until you really build out and get like, like I know you like to do leg extensions on the isolator, and then I've got like the Titan leg extension, leg curl combo. Like before that, leg days are like, oh, well, I'm going to put a bar on my back and I'm going to squat it like a lot. Back days, I felt the same way. So if you're like a body split person, like you do back bi and, really bro lift like that, like I like to do back days too, when you don't have the right kind of cable attachment stuff. Those are tough days. Those are some of my favorite ones too, were back days, and
for sure
back to being my favorite now that I have the things that I have now. But
yeah. All right. Well, these are Adam and I's setup. If you guys have scenarios for us for next week,
let me end with this, Jake.
Let us know in the comments.
To the victor goes the spoils.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Boom. All right. And with that, that's going to do it for us tonight. If you liked tonight's episode, then be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to your podcast. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment and taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Get involved on our website for all your home gym content needs. And be sure to follow Home Gym Con. Home Gym Con, you can follow them at homegymcon.com, any social site, Home Gym Con. We're going to be in French Lick April 26th and 27th. It's that Friday, Saturday, late April. The lineup is insane. Over 80 of the top vendors in the home gym community and all your friends from the internet. So come hang out, come do some gambling at night, and we want to see you at Home Gym Con. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Jake, anything else left for these listeners? All right, guys. Catch you next time. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.